Hey, my name is Jake. Welcome to my channel. I'm a registered nurse, real estate investor, and business owner. And today's episode is all about why I chose real estate investing, why I think it's so great, why I think it is a great place to start for investing, especially for people that don't have much experience in investing. And I'll go through the main reasons why I think it's the best. There are 4 main reasons. I'll go through all of those right now. All right, so first, number 1 is control. Number 2 is low barrier of entry / leverage. Number 3 is the vast options that you have in real estate to invest in. And number 4 all comes down to the most amount of ways to make money off of one asset. So number 1, control. Now in real estate, you can control what you pay for a property, what you pay for an asset, and you can force the appreciation up by making renovations, by making changes, by increasing the rent. All of that is within your control. So since you have that control, you control the direction this asset goes in. You don't have that option for other things. You can't buy a stock and force appreciate that stock up into a higher value, right? So that's one of the reasons why I love real estate investing. I think it's something that everybody should consider. Number 2 is leverage and low barrier entry. You don't have to have a lot of money to get started in real estate. If you have, a job and don't have bad credit, you can go and get an owner-occupied loan, and you can go and buy a property and use leverage by putting small amounts of money down and taking a loan from the bank to go buy assets. There's not a lot of other assets in the world that you can take a loan out and go buy those assets. That's how heavily trusted real estate is. Leverage is key if used smart and safely. Number 3, there's so many different avenues within real estate. If you like single family houses, you can do flips. If you like flips, you can do, you can flip other things. You can flip apartment complexes. You can flip mobile home parks. If you like short-term rentals, Airbnb, you can go into that route. If you like apartment complexes, you can invest in multifamily apartments. You can be an operator. You can invest in syndication. If you like RV parks and glamping, there are avenues for that. Whatever fires you up. And on the Bigger Pockets podcast, Brandon, when he used to be host, he always used to talk about, following your fire. And I strongly believe in that. Like whatever excites you and fires you up, that's what you need to follow, and that's what you need to do. And if you do it long enough and you do it consistently, you're gonna be successful. So that is number 3. There's so many different options in real estate to choose from that you can find something that interests you. Number 4, and probably the biggest, the most important, is there are so many ways to make money in real estate as far as off of like one asset. So for example, there's 4 ways to make money off of one asset. Number 1, appreciation. You buy a house for say $300,000. Over time, it's going to appreciate anywhere from 2 to 5% year over year. And sometimes faster, depending on where you live, sometimes slower. Actually, not really slower. I don't really see a less than a 2% growth year over year. During the pandemic, we did see this huge growth of 10, 20, 50% in some places. And that is not sustainable. So do not get used to that. That's not gonna be something that happens regularly. But 2 to 5%, you can count on that over a long period of time for sure. And the second way to make money in real estate is cash flow. So cash flow is probably like the most common way we hear as far as, real estate investors talk and making, positive cash flow. And cash flow, all it is the net income a property brings in. So if you have a house and you rent it out, that's the gross income. And then your expenses, right? So you have your mortgage, and maybe you have some money set aside for maintenance and capital expenditures and maybe some utilities. So you have your income, you have your expenses, that money right there, that all is cash flow. People often talk about getting rich off of cash flow. And honestly, cash flow is how you keep a property long term, long enough to allow it to appreciate and allow it to become worth more. That's really what cash flow is really utilized for. And not a lot of people are getting rich just off the cash flow. Third way to make money in real estate is debt pay down, which this is often overlooked. So debt pay down means I go and get a mortgage and I put a renter in there, or I go buy an apartment complex and I put renters in there. My mortgage balance is X when I get the loan, right? Now I got these renters and they're paying me rent every month and I'm paying that mortgage down. So the renters are paying down my debt. What happens when that debt gets paid down? My equity goes up. The amount of equity I have in the property goes up as it's appreciating. So somebody else is paying off my debt. Somebody else is building my wealth for me. Such a huge, huge thing when it comes to real estate investing. Such a great way to build your wealth over a long period of time. This isn't an overnight thing. Please don't get that out of your head. And the fourth way is tax advantages, tax savings. So often overlooked as far as a great part of real estate investing. And you get to write off your mortgage insurance, you get to depreciate your house. Like, those are substantial things. And then, when you get into bigger assets that cost a bit more, you can pay for something called a cost segregation. And the cost segregation is essentially gonna go through your entire property and value all the things in your property, your cabinets, everything. And they're gonna say what it's worth and kind of depreciate it over time, right? So like what it would be depreciated for. And when it gets depreciated, the thing is with accelerated depreciation, you can take that amount it's going to get depreciated for regularly over like 27 years, you can move that all up into the first year and take all of those tax savings and those write-offs in the first year. So I know people that buy real estate just to be able to do a cost segregation to save money on taxes. And this is the way the tax code is written. We're just taking advantage of the rules that were written for us. It's not illegal, it's not frowned upon, it's not a gray area. It's literally the tax code and taking advantage of what's in there. So taxes are huge. Those are the 4 main ways to make money off of real estate: appreciation, cash flow, debt pay down, and tax savings. And that completes, the 4 big reasons why I love real estate investing. Just to recap, it's control. You control the asset from start to finish. Number 2 is low barrier of entry / leverage. You can leverage other people's money to build your wealth. Number 3 is there's so many different avenues in real estate investing that you can truly find something that fires you up, that interests you, so you don't kind of get withdrawn or bored of it later on. Sure, everything becomes a little bit mundane after a while if you do the same things, but that's another great thing about real estate investing. You do one thing for a while and you get bored and you're able to, you can pivot into something else. And a lot of the knowledge carries over. And then last but not least is real estate offers the most amount of ways to make money off a single asset, and that is so powerful. If you found this information helpful, if you want to get more information about as far as real estate investing and what it has to offer and what it can do for you, please continue to watch the channel and share and like and subscribe, and please send it to somebody you think that could benefit from this type of information. I have nothing to sell, no program, no course, nothing. I just want to provide as much value as possible, and I'll continue to do so. So thanks for joining me today. I appreciate it.